Hello friends, today I'm gonna explain a survival horror movie released on Netflix named They Will Kill You. Two sisters go to a supermarket to buy some groceries for their trip to New York. The younger girl notices some chocolates and asks her sister if they can buy them. However, she refuses, explaining that they are too expensive and that they need to save money until they reach New York. Even so, the little girl remains uncertain about their journey. She is afraid that the man they are trying to escape from will find them. She fears that if he does, he will lock them back in the basement again. Her sister comforts her and assures her that it will never happen again. To lift her spirits, she shows her the tattoo of a flying bird on her wrist and promises that they will never be trapped again. As she walks down the aisle, the younger girl secretly slips a box of chocolates into her bag. At the same time, a man enters the store searching for the two girls. Terrified, the younger girl runs to find her sister. The man calmly walks through the store, saying that he is not angry and admitting how difficult things have been since their mother passed away. He finds the basket they were using. Seizing the opportunity, the girls try to sneak out of the store, but the alarms begin ringing because Maria stole the box of chocolates. The man chases after them while one of his companions blocks their escape route with a car. The older sister pulls out a gun. However, the man is not frightened at all and asks her if she is really prepared to shoot her own father. Without hesitating for even a moment, she pulls the trigger. The man falls to the ground, but still clings to Maria's leg. The police arrive at the scene, and in a heartbreaking moment, Isabel decides to run away, leaving her sister behind. 10 years later, in New York City, the older sister arrives at a tall building and rings the bell. Her eyes fall upon carvings of hell and the devil. A woman named Lily opens the door. She says that her name is Isabella and that she is the new maid. After confirming her ID, the woman allows her inside. Behind her, Isabel notices heavy locks attached to the door. Seeing the surprise on her face, the woman explains that the building is quite old and requires strong security measures for safety. She also introduces Isabel to Sharon, the owner of a cosmetics company. Seeing that she is soaked from the rain, Sharon kindly gives Isabel a coat and asks about the bruise near her eye. Isabel makes up a story claiming that she slipped in the shower. Sharon appears suspicious. As they walk, Isabel sees all the maids diligently doing their work. Lily enters a room to speak with a maid who is eating dinner. A child calls her a piglet. Lily comes back out and tells the child that it is not nice to say such things. She asks what all this is about. The maid replies that it is a small tradition. Tonight, one of the maids will receive a reward. The woman explains how the institution helps women in distress, giving them employment and helping them rebuild their lives. Eventually, they reach Isabel's room, but suddenly a man steps outside. It turns out he is the old woman's husband, Ray. In a low voice, she warns him to stay away from the new maids and quickly tells him to leave. They go inside, and she advises Isabel to get some rest before starting work in the morning. Isabel unpacks her belongings and goes to take a shower. The steam from the hot water slowly reveals an ominous warning on the mirror: "They will kill you." However, Isabel fails to notice it because she soon leaves the room. She looks toward the air duct. Something catches her attention. Looking closely, she sees a pair of eyes staring directly at her, causing her to stumble backward in fear. Then she hears the sound of a woman laughing outside her door, but when she goes to investigate, no one is there. Suddenly, the hallway lights begin turning off one by one until everything is swallowed in darkness. Moments later, the lights come back on, revealing a blurry figure standing at the end of the hallway, staring directly at Isabel. Panicked, she runs back into her room, locks the door, and blocks it with a chair. Sitting on her bed, she keeps staring nervously at the air duct while fidgeting with a lighter. Later that same night, someone tries to unlock Isabel's door. However, the chair she placed earlier prevents the intruder from entering. Then, someone watches her through the ventilation vent. After that, the person enters her room through a secret passage hidden behind the refrigerator. A man approaches her bed and begins licking her feet. It is revealed that the man has a pig-like face. The pig-faced man drools on her, causing Isabel to wake up, but when she looks around, the room appears empty. Seeing the saliva dripping onto her face, she bends down to look under the bed, but no one is there. Just as she stands up again, the pig-faced man suddenly attacks her from behind. A brutal struggle then begins. The man uses chloroform on Isabel, but she manages to fight back and knocks him unconscious. However, she soon realizes that it is far from over because more people begin trying to enter the room through the air duct. Dizzy from the effects of the chloroform, she crawls toward the night lamp. Just as she begins to lose consciousness, two more pig-faced strangers enter the room. It is revealed that one of the masked figures is Sharon and the other is Kevin. The man Isabel knocked unconscious is Bob. Desperate, Kevin turns on the light and opens the door, allowing two more masked strangers to enter. At that exact moment, while Sharon is dragging her by the legs, Isabel suddenly wakes up. Thinking quickly, Isabel cuts a live wire, electrocuting Sharon and managing to free herself. She runs and hides inside a wardrobe. Kevin and the others gather around the closet. Sharon and Bob regain consciousness and prepare to fight her again. again. When Kevin opens the wardrobe door, he finds Isabel crouching inside. With a cunning smile, Isabel strikes and decapitates Kevin in one swift move. She pulls out several weapons and shoots one of the strangers. Sharon kicks the shotgun away, and Isabel grabs an axe to fight the remaining 3 attackers. One man tries to grab the shotgun, but she kills him. Fighting against the other 2, she hides under the bed and uses the mattress to pin them down, then repeatedly stabs Bob with a knife. Sharon retrieves the shotgun and fires, but Isabel manages to avoid the bullets. The shotgun is now out of ammunition, and the fight turns into hand-to-hand combat. Bob throws a knife, but it accidentally hits Sharon instead. Asia defeats her opponent. Standing on the verge of death, Bob somehow manages to drag himself out of the room. Isabel quickly puts on her track pants and follows him. She chases him down and knocks him to the ground, while the elderly woman watches everything and admires Isabel's skill, now convinced that Isabel had lied about being just a maid. Without hesitating for even a second, Isabel finishes Bob off. Then the old woman turns toward her and firmly asks, "Who are you?" Isabel's true identity is finally revealed as Asia Reeves. 10 years earlier, when Asia was running from the police, she admits that the biggest mistake of her life was abandoning her younger sister. Her father survived, but Asia was captured and sentenced to 9 years and 11 months in prison, where she learned how to fight so fearlessly. Asia continues searching for her sister. A man tells her that her sister was last seen in the same building where she has just killed the masked intruders. He also informs her that the building needs a new maid. After getting out of prison, she assumes the identity of the real Isabel. Back in the corridor, Asia demands to see her sister and says that she will not harm anyone if they hand her over. However, Lily calmly replies that first she must take care of her unconventional family. Suddenly, the strangers whom Asia killed begin walking out of her room as if nothing had happened. Even the decapitated man reattaches his head, and they all begin reconnecting their severed limbs. A maid comes out and attacks Asia. In panic, Asia stabs her and runs back to her room, while a little child screams, asking about her mother. Asia yells at the child to be quiet and starts barricading the door shut. Suddenly, the child stabs her. In one strike, Asia knocks the child unconscious. She breaks the glass to pull the knife out. Outside, Lily takes a machete from the maid and tells her to clean up the blood. After regaining consciousness, Asia moves the refrigerator, but there is no secret passage there anymore. She also tries breaking the window and tearing apart the air duct, but nothing works. Loud banging echoes at the door. With no other option left, she finally discovers a hidden trapdoor beneath the carpet. Asia enters the secret passage. She carefully crawls through the narrow pathway. Bob, anticipating this move, is already inside the tunnel. However, Asia hears his voice and climbs upward to stay out of his sight. Exhausted, she collapses for a few moments. But after glancing at her tattoo, she regains her strength and continues forward. She reaches a narrow passage and hears strangers talking nearby. Suddenly, Lily opens the hidden door and startles her. Asia quickly shuts it again. They begin using an axe to break through while Asia tries to escape, but the axe strikes her hand. They enter the passage, and Asia cuts off her own hand to free herself. She then escapes while Sharon attempts to shoot her, but misses. The elderly woman screams that they need Asia alive. They continue pursuing her through the underground tunnels. Sharon rushes after her and attacks, but Asia impales her with a nail, killing her once again and reclaiming her shotgun. Asia begins crawling forward again, but Sharon regains consciousness once more and grabs her. This time, Asia blows Sharon's head off, but even that is not enough. Sharon's decapitated body continues moving around. Blind without its head, the body turns in the wrong direction while Asia's silhouette appears distorted in the shadows. At that moment, the old woman's husband appears and rescues Asia from Kevin, taking her under his protection. Once the path is clear, they emerge outside. Ray asks her if she saw the message on the mirror, which Asia admits she never noticed. He then reveals that the building is more than a century old and serves as a temple of Satan. The masked residents made a deal with the devil, gaining immortality in exchange for human sacrifices. He also explains that there is a list of names, and if your name is written on that list, you become immortal. That is why nobody in the building can truly die. Sometimes they recruit new people only to use them as sacrifices as part of their twisted plans, just as they intended to do with Asia. Meanwhile, Sharon's eye crawls out of her damaged brain and begins pursuing Asia and her rescuer. They climb upward toward the first level while a mysterious eye continues following them. At one point, Asia peers through an air duct and sees several people engaging in bizarre activities. The man calmly explains that because they are immortal, people eventually become bored, so this place is used for intimate encounters. Eventually, they enter a room. Asia finally reunites with her long-lost sister, Maria. Shocked, Asia tries to explain that she came to save her, but Maria reveals that she has already become a part of this place. Let us now hear Maria's story. We go back to the night when Maria was abandoned. We see her working like a slave. Her Her owner approaches her and accuses her of being ungrateful toward him. He indirectly suggests that if she were truly thankful, she would not just express it verbally, but would also do something for him in return. Later, Maria comes across a job advertisement for the same building. Upon arriving there, she is welcomed by the pig-faced cult members. Lily tells her that she is very lucky because they recently caught one of their maids stealing, and that maid will be sacrificed. Lily offers Maria a job as a maid. Returning to the present, Asia is still trying to process her sister's story. As everyone watches their reunion, Maria refuses to leave the building, saying that she feels safe there. Angry with her sister, Maria says that she no longer needs her. Soon, their argument turns into a heated confrontation, and Asia punches Maria, knocking her unconscious. Asia asks Ray for a way out. He tells her about a fire escape staircase that could help them leave the building. A spider crawls over an eyeball and then falls from the ceiling. Asia grabs it and crushes it in her hand. Meanwhile, Kevin discovers Sharon's decapitated body and demands to know Asia's whereabouts. Sharon tries communicating through strange gestures. Kevin realizes that Asia is inside the pleasure room. Two members receive Kevin's message and enter the room. Asia kills them both. Carrying her sister in her arms, she runs through the corridor while Ray helps her. He opens the fire escape and tries to hold the others back, but Kevin punches him aside and moves forward. Asia narrowly escapes Kevin. Kevin warns Ray that he will suffer consequences for betraying them. Asia exits through the emergency elevator and enters a small kitchen. However, she hears someone approaching. It is Bob. She quickly hides under a table with Maria. Bob finds Asia's shotgun. Maria wakes up, but Asia silences her. Just when she thinks the danger has passed, Bob suddenly grabs her and drags her out. He knocks her to the ground and starts beating her repeatedly, but Maria saves her sister's life by smashing Bob's head open with an axe. Asia loses consciousness. In another room, we are shown decades-old photographs of Lily and her husband. Lily confronts him and questions why he betrayed them. He admits that he once supported her when the people they sacrificed were criminals, but now they are killing innocent people. Lily says that she never trusted the world and remembers their early days when they were helpless and weak, but now they possess everything. At that same moment, Kevin enters the room to call Lily. They have assigned Sharon to guard the place. Her face has only partially regenerated and is still healing. Lily announces that Asia has escaped and is hiding somewhere in the building. All the maids and residents prepare to hunt her down. Back in the kitchen, Asia regains consciousness while Maria is tying Bob up. Maria tells her to head toward the elevator while she distracts the others. As soon as Maria leaves, Asia hears her scream. Asia gets up and rushes into the room, but it is completely dark inside. Suddenly, a mysterious figure attacks her, and someone snatches away her shotgun. She is attacked from all sides and barely manages to escape the room alive. Asia grabs some alcohol and sets her axe on fire. She notices shadowy figures in the darkness dragging her sister away. She charges back inside with the burning axe. Since she can see clearly, she fights fiercely and kills them one by one. Eventually, one of the attackers corners her at gunpoint, but Asia uses a table to block the bullet and leaps forward, slicing the attacker into two pieces. She removes the mask from the person. The man begs for his life and says that they are only trying to survive. But before he can finish speaking, Maria shoots him dead. During their reunion, the two sisters embrace each other tightly. Maria says that Asia should have left her behind, but Asia replies, "Never." Since everyone is coming back, they run toward the elevator shaft. Meanwhile, Lily and Kevin arrive to inspect the damage, and the room is filled with wounded people. Inside the shaft, Maria tends to Asia's injured hand. She reveals that their father died of cancer 2 years earlier. Both sisters apologize to each other for everything that happened in the past. Lily and the others resume their search and notice bloodstains on the elevator doors, realizing where Asia is hiding. As the sisters climb upward, Bob suddenly reappears. Asia fires her gun, but misses. While reloading, she drops the shells, but Maria catches them just in time. Asia reloads the shotgun and fires again, but the gun jams. She throws the shotgun at Bob, but it barely slows him down. They continue climbing when suddenly another man attacks them through one of the elevator doors. They manage to knock him down. The man falls, slowing Bob down and crushing him in the process. The sisters step through an open doorway and find Lily along with the entire cult waiting for them. Asia threatens to kill herself, which would make their sacrifice meaningless. She demands that Lily let Maria go in exchange. However, Lily calmly reveals the truth. Maria is not being held there against her will. She made a deal with the devil and agreed to offer sacrifices. We return to the memories of the moment when Maria first stepped forward in order to survive. She was given a choice: either become the sacrifice herself or sacrifice someone else. She chose Isabel, but fate had different different plans and sent Asia in her place instead. And now, if Maria failed to provide a sacrifice, she herself would be killed. Asia is left completely shocked by this revelation. Kevin tries to grab her, but she fights back and slips into the elevator shaft. Heartbroken, tears roll down her cheek as she falls, but she never reaches the ground. Bob catches her and pulls her back up. Lily immediately stabs Asia in the stomach and takes her away for the ritual. They also drag Ray away as punishment for his betrayal. Only a few of them enter the ritual chamber. Inside, inverted crosses can be seen everywhere. At the center stands a pig's head mounted on a pole. Lily uses Asia's blood and places it beneath the pig's snout. From the darkness, Satan emerges and approaches the pig's head. The pig's head suddenly comes to life and begins to speak. Kevin tells Satan that Maria and Ray have betrayed them. Lily tries to defend her husband, claiming that he simply became emotional. However, Satan is unmoved and removes Ray's name from a list, stripping him of his immortality. Satan gives Lily a choice: either kill her husband or die herself. Terrified but loyal, Lily slits Ray's throat. Kevin and Bob take care of his body. Now all attention turns toward Maria. She begs for forgiveness. Satan orders her to prove her loyalty by killing Asia. Asia pleads with her sister, but Maria has already made her decision. She picks up a knife and writes her name onto the list. They bring Asia forward for the sacrifice, and she quietly says that she wishes they had more time together. The very next moment, Maria stabs herself and collapses to the ground. The others are so shocked that they release Asia, who falls beside her sister. Maria apologizes to her, but then tells Asia to bring them all down before dying in her arms. One of the cult members walks over to check the body and announces that Maria is dead, but Asia suddenly kicks him away and steals his knife. Written on the pig's head are the words, "One life for one death." Maria had written Asia's name on the pig's head. Asia cuts her own name out and places it into her pocket. Maria's sacrifice has now made Asia immortal, causing all of her wounds to begin healing. She throws a knife at Bob, and the others grab weapons to attack her, but Asia chains one of them down. She slams Kevin against the wall and kills Sharon once again. Lily grabs Bob's knife and charges forward to attack, but Asia knocks her to the ground. Bob grabs Asia and pins her against the wall, but she fights free and crushes his head with a pipe. Lily begs her master for help, and the devil attaches itself to her head. Asia snatches the knife away, and Satan launches an attack on her. A brutal battle begins. Satan knocks her down and starts speaking in Maria's voice, blaming Asia for her death. But instead of breaking down, Asia rises with furious rage. When Lily tries attacking her again, Asia tears apart the pig's head. Using the pig's head itself, she shoves Lily backward and kills her. Asia says that she wants her sister back and reminds them that she knows the rule: one life for one death. But just as all the names on the list begin burning, she sets the pig's head on fire. Everyone starts losing their immortality, and eventually they all die. Asia throws the burning pig's head into the waiting crowd, and the force of the explosion sends her crashing into the elevator. When Asia walks out carrying her sister's body, everyone stares at her in shock. No one dares to stop her. Outside, she meets an acquaintance of hers. When he asks what happened, Asia simply replies, "Rich people." Asia places her sister in the back seat of the car, and the acquaintance expresses sorrow for her loss. However, Asia reveals her name written on the remaining piece of the pig's head skin. Maria had secretly changed the name to her sister's, making Asia immortal instead. The acquaintance is stunned and wonders what is even happening, but the sisters ignore his confusion and embrace each other. The man decides that he does not need to understand any of it. After escaping the house and surviving the explosions, the sisters decide that they want to go get breakfast together. And with this, the movie ends. Hope you like this video. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe my channel for latest movie explanation. See you in the next movie. Till then, bye bye.